Hi again, everybody. Today we're going to read a book called Greta and the Giants. This is a story with the main character, Greta Thunberg, who you guys read about in your news to you this week. However, this is not a real story about Greta. This is just a made up story about Greta. Because giants don't really exist in real life. This is just a fun story that features a real person and a made-up story. So we're going to read about Greta and the Giants. We're going to see how Greta saves the earth against those giants. Greta and the Giants. Once there was a girl who lived in the heart of a beautiful forest. Her name was Greta. But remember, Greta doesn't really live in a big forest. She lives in Sweden with her mom and her dad in a house, just like you. But we're just using our imaginations. One morning, things weren't quite as they should be. Greta stepped out into her yard, and there, huddled together in the shadows, were all the animals of the forest. A soft, silvery brown stepped forward with his tail low to the ground. "Please help us," he whispered. "The forest is broken and we don't know where to go. The giants are ruining our home." Look at him. It's a brown wolf, a fox, an owl. Looks like some squirrels there. And they're concerned. We're going to see if Greta can help them. The giants had always been there, for as long as Greta can remember. But now they were worse than ever. They were huge, lumbering oafs, and they were always busy. They chopped down trees to build homes. Then they chopped down more trees to make bigger homes. The houses grew into towns, and the towns grew into cities. They built factories and shops and cars and planes. They worked all day and all night until eventually these giants don't look like they're treating the forest very nice. Until eventually there was hardly any forest left. But the greedy giants had forgotten how wonderful the forest was. They didn't see the little birds and the bugs and the butterflies and the bears that tumbled in the shadows. And no one told them to stop because everyone was scared of them. That city looks kind of scary. I'd be afraid to tell them to stop. Everyone except Greta. "Will you help us?" asked the wolf. Greta looked around her, and the animals looked tired and sad. She had to help them, but how? Greta had an idea. I wonder what Greta's idea is. She has some good ideas in real life. Maybe she'll have some good ideas in the book. The next morning, Greta went into the middle of the forest and waited for the giants to come. She stood alone, holding a big sign. It said, "Stop!" And she waited and waited. There she is with her sign. It says S-T-O-P. That spells stop. And the animals are looking at her. They look a little happier that she's trying to do something. On the first day, the giants didn't see her, and they lumbered on by. And the second and third day, too. But by the fourth day, something strange happened. A little boy who had been watching Greta make a sign came and sat next to her. He didn't say much, but Greta knew he felt the same way she did. Look at him. He wrote a sign too. It says Listen. Do you guys know what that spells? It spells listen. So Greta's holding one that says stop. And then he's holding a sign that says listen, because they want the giants to not hurt the forest anymore. I wonder if the giants will see them now that there's 2 of them. We'll see. Soon, more people and animals saw what they were doing and joined too. Look at this. Look how many people and animals are stepping up. They're very passionate about saving the forest. The giants have to see that. Before long, a huge crowd had filled the forest, stretching out into the city and the roads and beyond. They stood together and waited. The crowd was so huge. Look at that crowd. Oh, look, the giants are noticing them. And they're stopping their work. Because here they come. That's cool. It's cool what we can do when we have a big group of people. The crowd was so huge that the giants were stopped in their tracks. And Greta says, "Please stop. Your greedy behavior is spoiling our home. You've broken the trees, trampled the flowers, and now the birds and the bees have flown away. These animals are homeless, and our forest is dying." After Greta had spoken, everything went silent. It's good to speak for what we believe in, and Greta did that. I wonder if the giants are listening. But then everyone in the huge crowd began to shout really loud. "The smoke from your fires is choking the air," said one woman. "And please stop cutting down those trees," said a bear. "You can help the planet," says it looks like a little cardinal. And then a beaver says, "And mend my home. We need to take care of our forest and live together. Will you please try?" they all said. Look at this. The giants don't look so big anymore. The crowd looks big and the giants look little because they're speaking for what they believe in. That's cool. I wonder what the giants will do. The giants shuffled and fidgeted and stomped their feet on the ground. They were embarrassed and a little bit sad. You see, the giants were so busy building, they didn't see that the forest and the animals that lived there. The giants felt terrible. "We're sorry," they said, and they promised to try harder. Look, they spoke out and their voices worked. The giants are going to try harder. I hope they keep their promise. That would be cool. So from that day on, the greedy giants weren't so greedy. They slowed down and learned to sit quietly. They stopped working all the time and instead took up some new hobbies. They stopped chopping down trees and they learned about gardening and living in a forest. They cooked, tidied, and shared. So he's sitting quietly and listening. He's knitting a big sock. Look at that. This guy's gardening. And it looks like they're cooking a stew out of the things that they make in the garden. That's cool and sustainable for Earth. I'm proud of the giants for trying. It looks like they're doing a good job. The forest became more and more beautiful than they could have ever imagined. Wow, look. So the buildings, they're kind of growing moss on them. And then the giants are spending more time in the forest taking care of it. Look how pretty the forest looks now. That's awesome. The end. And that book is called Greta and the Giants. Remember, it's just a pretend story though, but it has a good message about saving the earth and being careful of what we do on the earth. So Greta is very passionate about saving the earth, but everyone's passionate about something. So my question to you is, what are you passionate about? You might be passionate about animals or people, or maybe you're passionate about the weather or the environment like Greta. There are a lot of things that we can be passionate about. Let me know what you're passionate about. Being passionate about something means that you care a lot about it. And if something was going to hurt something that you are passionate about, you would speak out, just like Greta did. So let me know what you're passionate about. And I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye, guys. I'll see you on Thursday.